Yeah,
Yeah, please do that. We were always gonna get together, but we never did.
No, I hear
See,
you.
Rob used to work with him.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we know him. Yeah, definitely tell him we said hi.
Okay.
Take care.
Sure. Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Let's see what we got here. I got one there. So, Let's go through some of this cool stuff we got here. We have appraisal for Cindy Taylor that Mr. Bond filled out, so. Satisfactory stuff.
Good evening, gentlemen.
This goes to,
Right. Sit back. Watch that already.
We'll get any closer to the wall.
Yes, sir.
My name's Marty Cohen.
Good evening, Mr. Brown. Nice to see you.
Thought you might like this.
Always glad to have somebody come in.
Okay.
Okay, I understand you or some of your guys met with Dave on Friday.
Yeah, I did.
I was just about to ask him. Please.
Oh, right now?
Sure. I came down. If you want to wait, you can wait.
No, I don't want to.
I know there's a long line here.
Have a lot of.
Well, I mean, rather than to continue to exchange letters, I thought it'd be best just to come.
Great. My name is Jim Beaver, I'm the chairman of the board. That's Mr. Mike Sherman.
So, I don't know if I have all that much to say, but, in general, I think we did a pretty good job. Certainly made every effort to do that. And, I even drove around on Friday, I think it is pretty good. We put extra effort into it. And expense for that. In that we used cutback asphalt. Now, I know you got a lot of emails back and forth with the state people, and they had a lot of little comments that didn't really amount to a great deal, it seems to me. But a lot of this work, majority of this work, we use what they call asphalt emulsion. That probably, well, that wouldn't have created the problem we had last summer. That's not why it's used, it's the more rock. However, what we did use survives colder weather and roads that heave and move around a lot. Downside is when it gets hot, it softens up. It softens up much more readily initially. Eventually, some of the light oils evaporate. way more than the sand. And we've already expended extra amounts to use the cutback, but it was the right thing to do to give you the right job. And, we swallowed that, and we're gonna come out, and the major reason we're gonna cover certain portions again is to make it, if it does look poorly, and from a color standpoint, that's the major reason we're doing it. I actually don't know, it didn't really look that way in the fall, in certain areas, different in color. Although I've had people, tell me in the past that, the road wasn't black enough, so you never know what somebody wants. Other times, people like the fact that the road is gray because it's more of a country look. But again, I was willing, in considerable expense to come up and work on that road some more. And not that it matters, I'm not a large company, but I only really have one competitor. They're huge compared to me. I'm not sure they do anything, to be honest. They go around beating me up. Doesn't mean they actually handle the situation even as well as we have. I mean, I can be faulted maybe a little bit for lack of communication early on. But I accept that. But it's not like we ignored the situation. I have a representative, he came up several times. And I've never actually had to come to a board before. It never usually goes on that. And we did make it clear that we were going to look after the situation and try to make it right for everyone. It's not where I'm at. Cleaning cars, 2 people contacted me. I don't know how many contacted you. One I just sent a
Just to
check.
make sure it was more than 2, but if we don't have documentation.
Yeah,
we contact.
actually,
It was 2, that's it.
When I started taking care of it, I didn't even know where it went. One person I sent a check to, the other one wanted quite a bit of money, so I let the insurance company handle it. They'll work it down to a reasonable figure, I'm sure. Last time I checked, it hadn't been done, but I have to write a check, but it was rather than coming up here 3 or 4 times, they've got representatives and they can
That's why we pay insurance.
swab me that. That's where I'm at.
Well, I don't think anybody thought that you set out to do a poor job. I mean.
No.
And I don't think, we've certainly heard, other negative things about your business, but the fact remains we have a number of complaints. Whether they all came forward to you or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, that's kind
Yeah,
of.
the only time I've cleaned cars in the past is if it was raining when I did the job.
No. But we did have a number of complaints and concerns, not least of which was from our,
Tax collector. Tax collector?
No, not yet, well, our tax collector too, but also the campgrounds out
Oh.
here. Where, basically we had to shut the road because they were having an antique car show, and there was sort of a foofer about that, because they didn't want to, it's understandable. So I have no reason, as I said, to doubt your sincerity, but we had the complaints and your willingness and offer to redo the roads as necessary is appreciated. But it's still, we're still out an extra $7,300 because of cleanup work. Whether nobody wants to be in that position, but that's where we are.
Yeah, but my point is, it's not unusual to have to sand cutback material. And,
Mr. Fish?
Actually, yeah, well, that's true because,
But have we ever done that?
yes, years before, we've done it with Allstate Asphalt. When they came in and did a bunch of chip sealing as well.
What, did they recommend we do that?
I
thought
believe
this
we
was
did.
something we did only as a result of the.
No, it's a recommendation that most people do chip seal, they tell you to dry it up quicker. It helps absorb maybe loose asphalt at the time. It's not extremely abnormal to do that
But
operation.
we also had a lot of complaints about the sand on the road because of this.
Yes, we have.
Lots of
Sand on the road and stone on the road and,
Well, even the state mentioned that, maybe this asphalt didn't set up. Well, cutback doesn't set up per se, certainly not for a long, long time. I mean, it takes time it's got kerosene in it, that's what they cut it with. It takes summer weather to allow that to dissipate so it'll get more stiff. That's what we had to use in October, we couldn't use and be successful with anything else. It's the old-fashioned product, so it was used much more typically years ago. Although in Western Mass, I mean, I've had people that insist on that I use it because they want the real product. If I want water, I'll buy water myself, because that's what's in emulsion. And I've had pretty good luck with it. But I will not have great success with emulsion, even in September, actually. And it would just be a total disaster. So, I did what was right, and both products have their good and their bad points. I think chip sealing is a good product. I'm being a little bit disingenuous in saying that it's not paving, but or it's not blacktop. But in some regard, it's good it's not blacktop, because in many of these country roads, blacktop is kind of a waste. This product is flexible, it goes with the frost, it's kind of what's there, and a brittle product doesn't really stand up better. But it has its pluses and minuses.
So let me just, in some ways, what I think you're saying is that you will be happy to come out and, as you indicated in your letter, and surface several or those portions of the road where there's a
Yeah, I mean, all that could easily cost me $30,000.
But that you feel that the sanding
Yeah.
is not your responsibility.
I really do feel that. And I haven't tried to argue, okay, where did the numbers come from? It seemed like a lot, but I don't know really how much sand it was. But if I'm not mistaken, it all got sanded, right?
yes, all the chip seal roads, even where we didn't have an issue, we just did it all.
I mean, I think you probably get some
Protected
benefit, get some benefit out of that, because I think it does kind of lock it together.
No, that's what I was told that it did to it. You know, these, people gotta realize these aren't blacktop roads, and this is the way these roads have always been done, and it's not uncommon for these roads to peel off some blacktop like this. I mean, I'm sure it's happened in the past. People just get so used to having blacktop roads and everything clean, it's just, it's not the way previous highways have worked in this town.
I guess in 10 years or so that I've been visiting the town hall regularly, I don't think it's the first I recall. But anyway, Mr. Lennon,
Yes,
thoughts, comments?
Queries?
yeah, I mean, the product, I've seen these chip seal rules, but I've never heard of such a thing where it splatters, and, if he didn't put the sand down, which he shouldn't have put the sand down, as far as I'm concerned, it's a dangerous situation for motorcycles. I've had people call me, come to my house, I can't drive my motorcycle, me and my son, so on and so forth. Then there would have been that many more cars that got damaged with the tar spray, if he didn't put down the sand.
Well,
So-
I think it's a good idea he did put this in.
But it wasn't recommended at the time, it was only done in response to a perceived problem. See, I guess I would be more inclined to listen or to
Yeah,
understand your position if there had been a clear guideline that, okay, you should, after the chip sealing is done, you should put X number of tons of sand per mile. I don't know. But that does not seem to have been the case. What seems to have been the case is that the chip seal went down, we started having problems, and regardless of where the recommendation came from, the recommendation to sand the roads came after the fact.
Well, see, with the cutback, there's a whole bunch of variables. Not all of which you can control finely enough to say that there absolutely will not be a sticky spot. Where is it gonna be? I don't know. It's a total waste to go put it on everything, anticipating sticky spots, because that would take a lot. When you broadcast some over the whole thing, I do think that locked it together. Prevent stones from dislodging and rolling around, and it went down into the cracks where the plain oil is sitting, and I think it locked those stones in there better for the winter. Should I think to suggest that? No, I don't guess I didn't. It's not done all the time. Some people would do it. I've had people do it over the top of emulsion chip seal. I really don't think that's the way to go, although I didn't have any control over it. They were going to do it because they normally do it. It's not something that occurred to me to suggest. Most of the time, if I'm going to have a problem such as what we had, it's going to be in an intersection, because intersections inclined to have more traffic or more stopping, going, turning, that kind of works the whole thing, kind of brings the oil up. That may or may not happen. If it does, then you be reactive and put some sand on it. And I don't see the point in trying to put it beforehand, because it's messy.
Well, actually, technically, we put, after he did the chip seal, we put at least 300 tons of sand out on them roads over the winter.
In response to the problems we had.
Oh, right, yeah, I'm just saying that we did put sand down
We
anyway.
put it in the winter for traction.
Yes.
Yeah, for traction.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
Well, I was just saying, we did put sand down. I mean, I was as surprised as anyone else when I first got a call. I was on vacation, and someone told me, it was around Memorial Day, that they got tar on their car from the chip seal roads, and I thought it was someone pulling my leg, because I had no idea,
Right.
and then it started to come back.
Yeah, this is not a situation that has come up, that we are aware has come up in the past. We certainly don't have your technical expertise.
Well, it's all
We
about,
certainly don't
it
have
doesn't usually get to 100 degrees.
with other towns.
It doesn't usually get to 100 degrees, and you don't usually combine that with,
Well, that was, frankly, that was my first take, that we were seeing unusually hot weather.
Right. But then you combine that with way more traffic than usually goes on that road. So
Well, I don't know that we have
No, I mean,
much traffic.
Yeah, these are country roads, there's not a lot of traffic on these roads per se.
Right.
Compared to if you're gonna chip seal like a road in Pittsfield. I lived out on Nodal Lake and they chip sealed Thomas Island Road.
yeah,
And there wasn't one complaint, one issue.
right. Well, most of the time,
Yeah.
I'm in that boat. On the other
There
hand,
was a lot more traffic.
and they probably use emulsion. This product's a little different. It's just not going to set up and get hard. So
Well, I don't want to.
it had never been exposed to warmer weather prior.
So I don't want to beat this to death again.
Well, I'm just trying to help you
Appreciate.
explain my.
Right, I appreciate that, I certainly appreciate you coming in, but I think the sense of the board, unless you jump in differently, I think, it's still that we incurred an unexpected expense because of this, and, we would very much appreciate it for the addition to work on the.
I'll just add one more thing.
Compensated for
Yeah.
that.
I worked for an adjacent town, a couple towns away. And his comment to me before I started was, I hope I don't have to sand this because I have to sand it all the time with the other guy. And he sanded one spot where it was on a 45-degree angle, really was more of a driveway.
Do you have the specifications with you that states that the highway department, upon your completion of chip seal on the roads, must sand the roads? Do you have that?
No.
Okay.
As I mentioned in my letter, I just consider that maintenance of what you've done.
All right, well.
Because that's just part of the cutback product that when you apply heat to it, subsequently it's gonna soften up. At one time, some towns just used sand altogether, no stone at all. And you just kept sanding the heck out of it until you felt there wasn't a problem. Then towns started to switch to stone. Stone made a little better job. But originally, products like that were covered with sand only, and you fiddle with it forever until it ceased to be
Was it slurry seed?
well, no, but towns would actually go around with a drag broom and try to reorient the mastic that mixed up with the sand. They call it honing at that time. These are all the old road methods, but especially when you use cutback, you're getting back to the old stuff from the 40s. That or you spray it on sand, you mix it with a grater until it's all mixed up and spread it around. And it was all goopy stuff. And then sand. So when you start to get back to cutback, there's still that underlying situation where it could get sticky. And certainly do everything we can not to have spots like that. And it was really an isolated area we did have. Certain bunch of factors came together. But the biggest thing I focus on all the time is just having the whole thing survive the winter. Really what I'm focused on. We didn't.
We did start getting some plants this week.
I think it was around Memorial Day, when it started getting hot.
So, let's survive the winter in the state.
We're working on some new tools now, yeah.
All right, so again, I do want to say I appreciate you coming in. I've also got on record as saying that I don't care what color. I don't know if any of us do, but that's what, so we certainly appreciate you. Sticking around correctly. Still, with the situation. We have now, we've been recommended, something that, from what I remember all back and forth, it was not something we anticipated would be heard about here. We had chip seal roads in the past.
Oh, yeah. Most of these are still chip seal roads, and they're all
And,
sand.
is it normal procedure to sand? I don't think it is, because if it had been, then we would have had that back and forth with DOT.
Well, I think what they would do is, almost immediately after the chip seal, they would sand some spots that appear to be wetter, not,
Us, or the company?
I think so. I don't know, I'd have to actually ask
Of course,
Chris.
we control our liquid application. We try to be pretty fastidious about how we put the liquid on. We don't have a lot of initial sticky spots. A lot of people used to be really sloppy with these products. There'd be sticky spots all over the place initially, and you'd have to go out the next day and sand the heck out of it. We pretty much got away from all this. Regarding the DOT, they're not all that big with the stuff anyway, because they don't. They gave you 15 different things that, could be things that could be addressed. Most of them refer to emulsion, actually. But, that's cool.
No, think about some more of those.
of put on, to a certain extent, it's helping in the winter, but what got swept up, we went back out there again anyway. Imagine the sand, all that sand is on the road somewhere. Dave's truck doing its winter job. Thanks for your time.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. And,
See you in spring.
yeah, we tried to do a good job, and I really think we did.
I think you did too. I think you have an awesome crew. I'm really impressed with how well you guys work together.
Yeah, you probably don't know
Dave was
this.
very happy, Dave was very happy with the work that just popped up on all of us, so things happen.
Yeah. So, thanks for your time.
Okay. Okay. Superintendent Fish, what else we got?
Not a lot at the moment. I mean, winter roads were overall $2,000. Praying for spring.
Well, we got 3 more storms coming in the next 10 days. That I guess.
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay.
Yes, everything's going pretty good. It's just that.
You got some big ones coming?
Now, large, see, large storms cost us less money. It's the small ones that cost us more money.
The ice storms.
They're always up there, you have
Yeah.
more sand and salt. It costs a lot. And every load of salt is $2,500. So it's huge. So a big storm's nice. You go out there, you plow it, you sand it, then you're done. Small ones, you gotta keep going out, because you get a half inch, you get a half inch, you get a half inch. So you wear your blades out more and more sand. It's more expensive all the way around. So it looks like, what is it, Thursday? It starts May.
Thursday early, when I last I heard, it starts early Thursday, they switch to freezing rain.
See, that's way
All the
worse
other
than
stuff
snow.
really makes winter fun.
Yes. So 2 to 4, and then Friday night and Saturday, another
And yeah,
dozens to 2
Saturday,
inches or
Sunday.
something.
Well, this last one was supposed to be flurries, and it turned out to be 3 or 4 inches.
I know.
12 hours later, they said, so, okay, we can just get jobs of weather. Doesn't matter what you say or what you do, you think they know.
A slight chance of daylight coming towards morning.
Lightning around here, have you gotten a price for the bridge yet?
No, sir.
All right, do you have any intentions of ever doing so?
Yes, but the thing is, I need to know what size bridge I need to price.
Well, you gotta-
So we have to put the cart before the horse.
Still disappeared from the face of the earth.
I haven't, he hasn't,
If you need me to contact him, let me know.
well, I tried smoke signals, it's right up the street. Yeah,
How about the steel door at the transfer station?
we have the steel. Matter of fact, I just submitted an invoice last week for $390 worth of steel versus in the door, because the guy who's
Okay, so
getting
you're gonna
it,
fabricate it?
we can just cut the stuff out, throw it in. We're just waiting for a little warmer weather and good time frame, so we're not holding people up. And so when they go to dump it, they can just go dump it and drop it off in our yard. I think they looked at that, didn't they? I didn't hear what they
Fix some
said.
legs?
I sent them right up. I don't know if it fit, he never said.
It looks like it, and I'm kind
I
of
sent Tom.
a little nervous to kind of whack
Is this the one with Louis?
Yeah, Jeff's fooling around here, he's probably gonna ask you.
Who?
So I'll tell him.
Oh,
I see him coming.
Flo.
All right.
They were both.
I think they're.
They looking good, Jan?
Well, if there's a continuation, well, we'll take the whole thing down.
If we
Well,
have further problems, we'll let you know. All right, anything else?
no, I think seeing people are pretty decent. I don't know if Kathy Stevens, I think she was on vacation or something, but I didn't want to get a hold of her soon and start talking about Bill and Phil on Kirchner Road. Because that's what I want to do this year is, I know Washington Mountain, they're doing it, so I'd like to do Kirchner Road, put a nice surface on that. We have the sign, as soon as it warms up a little bit, we're going
Okay,
to
yeah.
plant
I
that
was gonna
sign.
say,
We have it sitting down there at the garage.
Thanks to the efforts of Superintendent Fish, we will take lots of to do this. Because I despair of getting
Yeah, he called me too, and I know there's no.
Yeah, we could probably decide where the complaints came from. Let's start
Yeah,
with
no,
the
well, I mean,
reasons.
it doesn't matter, when I get a complaint, we go up there and we patch the potholes, and it's a consistent,
Yeah, it's a few
Thing.
roads that are bad, yeah.
you know, when they, as they show up and as they thaw out enough where we can put something in them, well, we have material ready to be filled, to fill them. It's just that they're full of ice at the moment, it's kind of hard to chip them out.
It's kind of hateful to think about pouring more money into that.
Well,
A few months ahead of what.
the bright side is that it's gonna go away shortly, I hope, and we're not gonna pour money into this a lot. You know, I mean, we, several $1,000s a year at least, and perma patch. And mostly for Washington Road, because it's just falling apart.
What's that stuff coming, a bag?
Yes, oh, it's great stuff, I mean, it stays where you put it,
Yeah.
you know, which is nice.
What, do you mix it on site or before?
You don't have to,
get
just
there,
open
or-
the bag and pour it into,
That's it?
into the hole, and that's it, yeah.
What sets it up?
It's soft,
Really?
air, ambient air, or
Okay, so
You
you
mean
show
or
something,
something?
if you open the bag, it would set up?
eventually, yes. So you put it in, and it sets up really good. Matter of fact, there's a lot of it out there on that road, because it's just, people won't slow down, and they, they just keep hitting that same hole.
And that's only gonna get worse when it's repaved, but that's a problem for the police, not for the highway department.
Well, like the state police told me, they'll put it in the logbook. But I'm sure when the road's all redone, they'll be sitting there.
Yes.
They'll open up a donut shop.
All right. Steve, what do you got? What do you want?
Oh, Wire West, before that, I just want to say that that bridge across Lacey has held up great this winter.
Isn't that an awesome bridge?
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
I mean, I was skeptical, thinking
We should
about.
just build
how we
a
managed
bridge.
to- Pardon me?
You like the bridge?
We'll keep it.
Right, yeah.
Hey, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It's quaint, isn't it? It's quaint. It
Yeah.
could be a different color, maybe like brown or red or something.
Sergeant.
You know, I don't know if I care about the color, but
Sergeant.
it's, with the snow and the ice and whatever, it's really, you guys have done a good job, and it's just smooth getting over there.
And you can't skid off the sides.
It's, exactly, right?
What?
It's like this. Are you gonna paint that
No.
in the spring?
No.
Why not?
Oh, I was thinking about invisible color.
Maybe we could, how much approach bridges?
Actually, we should hire Jody Lamper to put murals on both sides.
Is it DCR?
You know, like a scenery or something. Some deer and elk and stuff in the foreground.
What we should do is charge them to paint their bridge.
Oh, geez, that would go over
That'll
well.
go over it. All right.
Anyway, that's not what I came for.
Okay.
I just thought to see what's here. Wired West.
Yes.
We've been looking at a number of ways to try and, there's about $50 million that seems like the state's going to put up toward the $100 million.
Yeah.
The IT bond bill, it hasn't gone through as fast as we thought, but it's still, everybody thinks it'll still go through. So what we hear from NBI, I think you've heard this before, we hear from NBI, from some state reps, is that they want to see the towns, as somebody put it, have skin in the game. What that means is, and we've talked about this, there's some kind of
We're
financial.
looking for a grant out of the hides of our taxpayers.
Well, we're hoping it won't come out of the taxpayers. There's a couple of things we're looking at that would basically, where Wired West would issue a bond that the towns would back up, but the towns wouldn't pay anything unless there was a problem.
Sure.
And the point of why I'm here is, we're gonna set up a series of meetings with select board people and FinCom people. We're not gonna do them every town, we're gonna do them, scattered around, and you pick one that's near you and you go to that. So, I would like to do one of those here. Means you guys travel less and I travel less.
Okay.
On
And invite surrounding towns.
Yeah, and the way it'll work, because there'll be one in Monterey, the way we have set up, there's one in Monterey, there's one in Covington, and we gotta get further east. But the idea is, people can go to wherever they want. If somebody from here wants to drive down to Monterey, that's fine, but Wednesday, March 12th, that was the date, right, Jan, that we looked at, and it seemed to be town hall available. So there'll be invitations going out. And these, by the way, in our view, that these are closed meetings. We're just providing information, it's not deliberation going on.
Okay, so these are not meetings, these are presentations.
They're basically presentations and just want to hear what, you know, selectmen and FinCom people think. Do you think we're getting into a deliberation?
The public, you might want to just open, you know, invite selectmen and finance boards.
That's what we're doing, they're just going to be direct
Yeah.
invitations. I mean, it's really an information
Probably
gathering.
needs to be an open meeting.
Pardon?
I think it probably needs to be open to the public.
Yeah, we discussed this on Friday, the executive committee at Warren West. We sort of came to the conclusion that we could not be, and I've been having second, I'm glad you said that. I've been having second thoughts myself about that.
I mean, well, frankly, if you try to do it any other way, regardless of the legality, the optics of it are bad.
Yeah, it may mean that some people say, well, I'm not going to participate because I don't want to be in the middle
Why,
of some
what
issue.
are they talking about? Why am I being excluded?
Okay, all right, I'm going to communicate that to them.
I don't think there's an outside.
There's a couple of our executive committee people are also selected, one from Covington, one from Montgomery. And I was actually going to email them today and get a chance to say, are you guys really comfortable with the idea of this being not open? So I'm going to recommend that we change our tune on that. So you'll,
Just like, yeah, it'd be great, that'd be great.
okay. But there's some things, you know, in the works that I think are positive. That's about all I got.
Thank you. Mr. Bond, good evening, how are you?
Just peachy. Weather's good, plenty of snow to not cross country ski on, you know?
Fine,
Fine.
since last week, finally, and more on the way, and the other next few days.
Was it good? I was in New Hampshire.
And they're getting ready for the States tomorrow. That's not true. They should have been able to. So,
So, you have that meeting to try to have all of us together to try to organize those two things with the planning board?
2 weeks
On
from tonight.
27th?
Yes,
Yeah.
2 weeks from tonight.
I'll be away, and I'm just wondering if there maybe a lady named Janice Huber could.
Why don't you fill her head with notions and tell her?
Yeah, I'll give her a call for the zoning board to either better pay attention, see if she has any input. I'll ask Will Beamer also.
Right. Yeah, I think I would certainly appreciate more, the more we get, the better. So.
Yeah, try to get something together, but
Okay.
anything else going on?
No, I don't think there's anything else that, you know, specifically, there's lots going on, of course.
If you want to
But
lick some
that's- I
salt
don't think
outside
there's
on the
any-
driveway, you can.
I knew what you said.
I said, if you want to lick some salt on the driveway,
Yeah.
you can. It's a little obsessive, but what do I know?
Before the sheriff's department starts painting the rest of the interior, we got a few, things we gotta do, I don't know what your schedule with,
Well, it's
You know,
it's up to you guys, if you're gonna do the kitchen, spend all that money I put together a while back on the
Yeah.
kitchen
Yeah.
and update it, if you wanna do that,
Yeah.
you know.
well, it's just, you know, some trim work, you know, the door that leads to nowhere in the assessment office.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta, we gotta do something with that. Put a wall
nobody's
in
done
it.
anything for 25 years, it goes nowhere, it's closed off, what's the problem? Is it important?
Yes.
You gotta go to your place and check it out. It is, you know, there's priorities in this life.
That's true. I wouldn't raise that one real high, but, you know, if we could do some cosmetic or whatever, because.
Yeah, but if we wanna, you know, finish this joint here, right?
I can make a list that would curl your hair, we could spend a lot of money on
Well, of course.
it. I can see everybody's around here worrying about it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
I
it's
just,
just-
did we consult our fire marshal with the prospect of that needing a second exit at that moment?
Yeah, you have exit door out of it, and you have an exit door I asked the building inspector, and it didn't seem like it was.
Oh, that's right, because there's another one that comes this way.
Right.
Right, okay, all right, yeah, well, yeah.
The COA had a question about the outlets on the stage.
That's
Um,
right.
Could someone? could you-
Jeff was wondering if they're grounded or not. I think that was the question.
Yeah, as to whether these are safety or grounded outlets back there. I guess somebody thought they weren't, and they were worried about.
Oh, I just had to put some new receptacles in there. Are you an electrician?
No,
No.
I'm not licensed for that, you know? That's why I always get somebody else to do it in this professional place, so I
Yes.
don't get in trouble.
Right.
Jim Lapierre's been the guy I usually call, but there's, whatever. They should be grounded because I think they're all grounded.
It should be,
The
right?
wiring system is all the same in the building, and they all have grounds on it. I don't
Okay.
know.
So the receptacles just have to be changed, okay.
Yeah, that's all, they just gotta be
Yeah.
changed from a two-plug with no,
Yeah.
ground plug that goes in.
Right.
Do we need an electrician for that?
We do.
Something you-
Only because you're in a municipal building, and
Right.
you don't do anything by code,
Somebody told me that.
Right.
you'll be in trouble.
That's right.
Okay.
Can't touch any of that stuff.
You gotta have somebody licensed so they're responsible to do it. So you want that
That
to
can do the
happen.
carpentry.
Huh?
I said, that can do the carpentry.
I think.
Well, just about anything other than license
Right.
for plumbing or electrical, you know, I subbed that out.
Uh-huh.
So that's the only thing I'll have to get hold of that here. So, no, so we can get hold of any-
Sure, I can
We
call
can get hold of,
Jim Lapierre.
yeah, what do you think?
And
He's married to Jim.
Jim,
He's gonna-
mentioned to Jim,
They have a problem.
Had a complaint about somebody having.
Yeah, I think, I don't think there's a ground plug. I think it's just stupid.
Chief,
Hello,
good evening.
do I have your ear?
We're still talking to the third runner up in the Vladimir.
Yeah.
A look-alike contest, huh?
It doesn't have a ground.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I can't plug anything into it, you know?
Did you get the appropriate?
I got a bunch of those
Pointing authority.
two-plug
Yes.
things if you want them.
One, yeah. What now?
I got the pen.
That's a good idea.
This one here.
That's
Yeah,
not, that's not
his
code.
name in
I
there for
know,
permission.
and
There it is.
Still works.
Jan to follow up with him on
They have
that.
circuit
Do we have
breakers
any
on- they have
reason
circuit
to think
breakers
that
on
we
every
have a
outlet.
concern with either of these?
I ran
Up there?
the records of all these people.
Yeah, you have to just tell us yes or no.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's no problem.
He's in the after.
You've been, he did a background check on you when you're in trouble.
No, there's no problem with it at all, so.
Okay,
But
just, we will.
but before
request the
you,
individual-
I still need his signature.
Yes, I know,
Yeah.
we will, Jan's gonna get the individual.
I don't want to sue again.
It's kind of fun last time.
$250,000 of those.
Personal.
Yeah, personal.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else? Is there anything else we need to know or do?
No, not a back door stand.
I don't get in the front door. We got there.
There's that right there. Corey's gonna go there.
Exactly.
I come in the other day, the alarm wasn't on right there. There's a door open this much. The Robin was already in the building. I said, hey, come here, look at this. Hey, why didn't the alarm go off? That's number one.
Yeah.
B,
Why?
the door's been open for a long time because the snow was blowing up against it and everything, and nobody's coming and gone that way.
That start was here.
I don't know, I just feel a little not so secure with the way the doors are.
Well.
Everybody that starts
We need to get somebody to come in and agree.
And we can take it over, that's
Mr. Bond,
So while you fix it up.
there's been some concern that the doors are improperly hung
By who?
or that they
Chief.
are open.
I, for one,
Man. You know,
well, first of all, there's a combination of people don't know how to use the front door.
It doesn't open correctly.
Yeah.
We would need a
And
tutorial.
the other day, this door over here in back was open don't know why the alarm didn't go off, but the door was open. But it's been that way for a while, because the snow was blowing up against the back and everything.
It's because somebody had closed the property.
You can't, it's very difficult for somebody to close it
I'm
from
gonna
the
put some
inside.
grab bars on.
Yeah.
You gotta have a handlebar.
That's what it's got.
I'll put some grab bars on. And I adjusted that front door when it wasn't working right. The wiring was up, closed the
Yeah.
hole, so it's really locked.
Yeah,
I had to adjust and tighten it up because people were just beating that guy.
yeah, that's what they were doing.
Yeah. So you need some grab bars?
Okay, and that's what my suggestion was going to be, grab bars on both ends,
Right.
you know.
So you can close it without pulling the thing.
All right, another crisis in Arlington.
Everything we do.
Anything else? Anything else?
I'm glad I showed up.
How's the school bus drivers doing?
They told us that. Receptacles. We're gonna get you
Well,
receptacles up there.
Yeah, done, that's good. Think they fix it, they did.
I haven't checked it, I want to try that yet, well,
Let us know if you want to let.
it's being used for tennis fishing.
So, we're here to discuss pop-up dinners. Correct. For background, this has come up in the past with pop-up dinners that we have for our seniors, that there is a legitimate Board of Health concern that food might be held on temperature that promotes bacteria, and not serve unhealthy food to our seniors. In the past, the board has investigated this and has gotten professional advice that potluck dinners such as we hold are not necessarily subject to Board of Health review or regulation. The distinguishing character is the being open to the public, which we have held in the past that our pop-up dinners are not open to the public in the sense that they are
They're not seniors.
broadly broadcast. I recently, and I think everybody in the board recently got a communication from State Board of Health. They're trying to clarify this issue, which is always, as usual, clear as mud. But nevertheless, I forwarded that to Jeff, frankly, with the recommendation that we continue the same course, understanding that there is some concern for the women, but that the alternative might not be viable either. Jeff properly is concerned and is erring on the side of caution. I'm just kind of paraphrasing the emails that went back and forth between us, that perhaps we should be more careful with our pop-up dinners. And certainly happy to defer to your judgment on that, because it goes back to all of us in a way that I don't think any of us wanted to come back with this. Mr. Slick?
Yeah, after reading this memorandum thoroughly, and there's a lot of gray area, but there's some pretty solid areas in here too, about these kitchens, or home kitchens, and these not certified kitchens. If they're not certified kitchens, that puts us on the other side of the slide,
No.
in a way, because,
Not necessarily.
well, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we close, this is a closed situation, such as if the regular general public is not invited. It's not really true. We allow seniors, but we also have to allow others who are not seniors. Members of families, workers, whatever, you know,
Still not okay
volunteers.
with the public. I mean, I don't want to be splitting hairs here.
Again, we get this, when I read this, I said to myself, town council needs to review this and make it a confirmation that it is okay for us to do this under the conditions we're doing this. Only because all these meals are made in their homes, which, don't get me wrong, I enjoy enjoy doing this, and I enjoy the meals, and people are very good at it. But they do leave their homes in a non-sealed container a lot of times. They are made in a home, we don't know how long they sit on counters. We don't know any of this. Majority of the people who are making this stuff are seniors. The seniors cook up a storm over the years, but a lot of seniors, when they get older, tend to forget a lot of things they're doing, and how long they had it out, and what they did to make it. That's the scary part is, unless somebody will sign off on this thing, I'm not going to allow it.
Yeah, well, we, as a board of health, I think we are on record as saying that the potluck dinners do not come under our purview for.
That's right, money, right?
Not today, maybe next time.
However, I mean, and I understand your discomfort because I share it to a certain extent.
Well, let me put it this way.
What should we do as an alternative? Let me turn this around and see, is there a path that gets us out of this thing?
The people that show up for potluck dinner are obviously people who like getting out of the house at least once a month to do this. They enjoy coming here. That's a great thing that we put on a movie that works too. If we did this and then we decided, well, why don't we open up a soup afternoon and a lunch afternoon, with tea? We're gonna be in the same situation. Again and again. So that in itself, is that open and closed? This is all part of the COA.
Depends on how and if it's advertised.
Well, we do advertise these because we put them in the tracks.
COA members, that's not open to the public, that's COA members. All right, how about, why don't we just cater these things, we have a budget?
We don't have a food budget. That money we have from the town is going to be eaten up at that one-time dinner.
Eaten up.
Yeah, exactly. It's eaten up
Well,
on that one-time dinner.
how big is the grant?
The grant is at this point, it's because there's some money that wasn't used probably at the end of the year because we didn't use it in time or it wasn't filed in time.
Well, we got
We lost a few bucks, but it's about $3,580.
So what would it take, how much would it take to cater this?
You're talking 20 people.
All right, so
You figure it's about a little less than $20 a piece.
So instead of donations of food, maybe we can ask for donations of even small donation.
And at that point, you'd have to push them off to not once a month, but once every 2 months. You're never going to get enough of them. Most of the seniors, I think, are going to give up that kind of money. Budgets there, to be honest, like today. I mean, I don't want to scare these people away, but all I'm saying is, if you can, I'm going to say it again, town council can handle the problem. If a guy in Jersey says, hey, my mother died here because she got food poisoning, there was no doctor on the scene, no medical staff on the scene to take care of her. I'm sorry, but my lawyers are going to sue you for everything you got in your town, and you. Well, I'm sorry, but I know the guys sitting up there very well, and I know none of the guys up there are going to put their house up for me. And I'm signing this.
You're also, you're indemnified as a part of the town.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean that any of us would want such a thing to happen.
I just
When's the
don't-
next, when is the actual formal dinner?
The actual formal dinner for the annual that we do,
Yeah.
I've got that now scheduled for the 26th of March.
26th.
Yeah, Ozzy's in Hinsdale.
Not Bucksy? In Washington?
No, Ozzy's in
Oh,
Hinsdale. Bucksies,
their kitchen won't pass.
yeah, Bucksies won't pass. They're defunct right now.
Board of Health, what are they doing?
Yeah, they're defunct right now.
Okay.
So I set up with Ozzy's and he's gonna cover that, the dinner, and he's gonna cover the beverages, he's gonna cover the meal completely, and he's gonna take care of the seniors who have any food allergies or special needs food, he'd take care of that too. And he even offered me some tickets for the seniors to raffle for dinners.
When you say take care of, he's not.
He's, for the money that he had, the budget, he's gonna fit it in, that we can get 50 people in that room which we had in there last time. He said, this room's got quotes 50, nobody else was in, they weren't in the other room.
And the announcement's going out with the next draft.
And the announcement's going out, and we're gonna send out invitations for our SVPs to come back to us based on who's gonna come and what kind of deal they want.
You are RSVP, yes. And, so when is your next potluck?
That will be the third Friday this month.
Are you alarmed enough to cancel that?
I'm able to cancel it because we have all the phone numbers of people who generally come. But I'm not gonna cancel the movie and the snacks. The snacks are prepared properly, the snacks are delivered properly, packaged product. And they can have the movie just as well. I got a license on the wall, they're up to date. Some people do come for that, and they like that, so we're not gonna suspend it. We know there's no reason to. We want them to come here.
Right, exactly.
But we gotta step around this, first.
Don't some of our supermarkets offer like a dinner program where they'll bring spaghetti and meatballs and bread and salad and for a modest recompense?
If they're transported, maybe.
Same thing.
Yeah, but it's being.
No, it's made in a
prepared
food safe
commercial
kitchen, and it's transported properly.
And it's transported by commercialists.
Yes.
of some
A
kind.
commercial, right, commercial kitchen.
All different stories.
Correct.
I know they do that for fundraisers and stuff.
They do this, I mean, they do these caterings, they not so much caterings, but, deliveries and food service,
Big wife has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big wine sets.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should do a number with that too, just as well.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, even if, it means spending some money, but getting them to pick up some of the freight, it might be doable within the budget.
But remember, we can't use this budget that comes from the state, that money cannot be used for the foods. That's just.
Does it say that specific?
It's got a nerve.
Yeah, they want you to buy, exercise equipment, chairs, and,
Yeah.
music and things like that,
Did you contact Emmett?
He said, he said, basically, he said that there's a lot more, he said, but you know what, he said, I said, I just get the food product, and I got it down.
Gentlemen.
And then print it over, there's just a lot to it.
For the record,
So,
the town of Washington received a grant on behalf of ourselves and our partners from the Community Innovation Challenge program put out by the governor in the amount of $126,000.
Fantastic.
Now, having said that, that's half of what we asked for, and the portion of it that we are interested in is only a small fraction of that. I won't say that we were the lead town of convenience, but it did have a lot to do with Dan's willingness to work on the project. Get paid for working on the project, let's get that in the.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, they approved everything but the accounting software package, which is amazing.
Well, I talked to Rebecca.
They'll get it.
I went down to that presentation in Boston last Thursday on a whole day's notice. I talked to her, and I made it clear that, they have to find money in this budget for this to happen. And
Yeah,
she assured me that they would. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, I talked to her today. They have a little extra in the infrastructure that Dave Davies is gonna manage it through the Department of Revenue in his group, so they can cut that outside consulting fee out to do that. And there's some expense money. So they freed up some, but the key is to get at least a standalone for us to use next year. And then, so it will be kind of like the pilot form.
Right.
And then I think they'll probably put in another grant next year to load that into the infrastructure. So, in the infrastructure, I guess they're gonna put the first two modules that they build into that.
Okay.
So, the goal is to review the contracts with Tim next Tuesday, and then
have them ready for the board to sign on the 24th.
Okay.
And the monies will come in
Will all the
sometime,
monies be cycled
come
through
through
us?
us, yeah. We're the
And they
administrator.
want to cut us out from using it.
Yeah. Well, I said, it's great that we got this grant, but without the accounting package, we're not really interested.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, and Rebecca and then the other gentleman there, I forget his name now, was.
Dave Davies,
Yeah, that was.
he's the DOR guy.
She seemed not only amenable, but way ahead of me in the sense that, oh, yeah, of course, you're right.
They're gonna get the Hanover software, I'm gonna probably put it on my laptop, so that, because I gotta get it from them, and I'll take it with me to Carolina, so I can start playing around with it. But the goal is to be able to have a user manual that makes sense, unlike what we have with our other company. And.
And software that makes sense.
Well, yeah, the stuff that we found this week, but, so they have a software that we can use. We'll have to create the chart of accounts. I told her, I said, I still have money left over for the chart of accounts from Washington,
Okay.
because we saved $2,000 of the 4, and said we aren't gonna do anything more with Vadar, because we're gonna get rid of this piece of junk.
Right.
So we can use it, I felt we could probably use it, creating our chart of accounts for Hanover, which also accomplishes a little bit of their testing. So it should work out that we can get a software package that we can use starting July 1st.
Okay, so you're confident on that timeline. I realize things change, but.
Yeah, I mean, if the software works, I don't want, I've had it with this thing.
Yes, I admire you for sticking it out this long. So. Yes, great. Well,
So,
thank you.
and we'll get the money, and they started the project already, so they started going,
All
the
right.
preliminary stuff, but they'll start in February, February after the contracts are signed by the state, then they'll get going full guns. They're not worried about the payments, because most of it's gonna be labor and, some materials, they gotta buy some software and things like that.
Since we are dispersing the funds, let's just make it clear how much we need for that part of the program, whatever we call it.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
so,
Speaking of free cash.
well, you remember back about 4 months ago, we had more money in the banks than we had in the books? Past 2 years, we had more money in the books than in the bank. Well, we found a whole bunch of stuff that was double recorded and not recorded, and got it all sifted through, and we did a bank rec last week, and we're off almost to the penny, $100,000 more money in the bank
We have $100,000 more than we should have.
than in the books. No, more in the bank than in the books. Same situation as the last 2 years, that we couldn't find it. So I found 15 grand of it over the weekend. It was transfers between some of the accounts that weren't recorded. We got that straightened out, but it's still $85,000. And all the revenues look like, but one of the things I found in trying to get this all squared away is, I found one of the receipts that was posted, and the revenue, so you debit cash and you credit either revenue or whatever you have. Well, all the credits were listed, but the cash was not recorded in the cash books. So the receipt went into Vadar, balanced, the right side was recorded, the left side
It
wasn't,
was never recorded.
which means,
And that would be the cash.
that would be the cash. So I'm putting together a roll forward of all the accounts, because the thing that kills me in the system is their budget, the way they do the budgets, or lack thereof, impacts the general ledger. So it makes it really hard to figure out what free cash is.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it based on what's left over has to be fund balance. Well, now what's left over is either fund balance or cash. So I have to really dig in and find out what is specifically left over for fund balance. And I'm hoping it's off $100,000, which is our 100,000, or 85,000, which is our 85,000 cash. But it's just a nightmare. So the good thing is, I mean, there's always a silver cloud in a dark, or silver lining in a dark cloud, is I have all these things in the back of my head that when I start looking at Hanover, had better work. Or we will make them work, so that we have a system that's actually functional as opposed to this thing that we call a system. So I don't have free cash yet. I don't have the books,
Okay.
I don't have the books closed yet. I mean, the revenue ledger, I think, is done, the expense
Sounds
ledger
like
is
we
done.
got at least 15 though.
Oh, no, that's just the cash that I found. That's just the cash, that-
You should have 100.
yeah, I found 15 of the 100.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well-
that we-
Oh,
we can't justify-
No. The difference between the bank and the books has got nothing to do with free cash. It's what's left over in the general ledger and in fund balance. And I'll have an idea if I can get this balance, what free cash will be next week, because that's exactly what that calculation is.
Okay.
Or 2 weeks, yeah. But
I'd
I
love to know next week, but, if
so,
we'll get it in the record in 2 weeks.
so we, it's getting there, but it's not done yet.
Well, my perseverance.
They got its cold up.
Speaking of cash,
Yeah.
speaking of cash,
Yes.
we're low on cash.
Huh?
We're very low on cash. We got $60,000 in the money market and what I have in the checking account.
Okay, well, you were authorized to do short-term borrowings if you need.
You don't have to
Our treasurer
do
does
any
that.
special authorization or anything.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I think that's what we're in your purview.
Yeah.
I mean, we need signatures, but yeah, no, you can start that process.
So I can just go to like the TD Bank and.
Get some short-term money.
How much you need?
That's you, that's not him. You know, and if it's not outside the realm of reason that, we would appropriate additional monies for COA if we need to,
We need to feed them.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, the town can donate what the town wishes to donate, as long as the citizens say, yes,
They
donate.
don't pay any bills in March.
Exactly.
You know, so I
If
know,
we can make a reasonable
Whatever
choice.
you'll know,
Yeah.
that would be appropriate.
We need to keep
One
that.
more warrant.
Right.
Fed.
We've been happy.
They do like to eat. and that's good.
Preferably with
That's a good thing.
non salmonella or
Right.
E. coli contaminated food.
Yes.
To be honest with you, I'd like to see that they're eating and not going hungry. I'd like to see that. I'd love to see that they got heat, but we can't cover everything.
Well, that's, I think that's another program.
I don't know, I mean, we'll redo the kitchen there. Should we put in
I
a,
don't know that we
Or
want
a
to putting in a commercial kitchen. That's bucks.
nah. It's not bad, it's $3. Yeah, you gotta shop around.
All right, well,
We got
I
it.
mean, we'll make it.
That's a small area.
Then you got a grease trap situation, then you gotta have a place to put that grease trap.
You just don't wanna do the cooking thing.
Oh, I love cooking, I love eating.
That doesn't need to be a commercial kitchen to be a certified kitchen. That was certified when it started.
Right.
So what you have, it does function.
Just
It's
get
being
rid of
certified.
Yes.
the mice.
Well, and then, maybe that's the answer too, maybe the preparation.
Yeah, 'cause we're gonna do the kitchen, so we'll just, that'll make you feel better.
Work on.
Oh, it'll make you feel better, start.
Sure, that way, inspector, and inspector.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say we really don't need to spend a lot of money on that kitchen. It functions well the way it is. It needs some new drawers and drawer slides, but the
Right.
construction of the cabinets is strong. You go put new cabinets in, you might not find that it carries the load that those cabinets do. If you look at how many plates
They got a
and
ton of weight
glasses are
in
in there.
Yeah, ton of weight.
You've got a ton of weight in those cabinets. The layout is fine. You need to refinish the doors, need some new drawers and some drawer slides.
Yeah, we got
Maybe
enough
even
counter,
counter, that's it.
we got enough counter space, just need to put a top on it.
That's all that kitchen needs.
You got a sink, you got a dishwasher, you got all this stuff.
I'm going to agree on you, Dave.
Right?
So we can start. All the plans.
Plans to pay for.
That's what I mean, that's, the grant money should be covering the bridge. Anything else?
Yes, we are all squared away with the DUA. I got a hard copy of
Yeah,
that
all
letter.
right, you just make a copy for Jan. You have a copy, did you get a copy of Cynthia Taylor's review?
No.
Okay. So we have something for you, yeah, if you give me a copy of that.
Is that something
I
that's
got it
current?
printed.
Something current that they're doing? Have a review for her?
It's from last year.
Just a
That has not exactly been on.
Well, I have some documentation, that I pulled off mine.
Yes, sir.
I think that you were so successful
That's what you're on.
with the DUA and with Smitty, that even though it's a law, I think we should complain about the whole Cindy Taylor situation here. That we're paying unemployment on an employee who still works for us. We're paying almost as much in employment that we paid for a year because Head Start let her go for the summer, and they don't, because of this stupid law, we end up paying her unemployment because of their formula. Even though it's a law, it doesn't mean it makes sense. And if some people found out about it, they'd say, what is this law? I think it's absolutely crazy that we paid $800 for her unemployment when she still works for us, and we only pay her $2,300 in the whole year.
I know in 2012, the governor set up a task force that looked at all kinds of things.
How long is that gonna go on?
And that was.
As long as we have her here and she gets laid off in the summer.
And they made some recommendations by the governor.
It's craziness.
The governor, but I don't know if they ever acted on it.
If you would give us if there's gonna be any kind of public hearing or any kind of hearing about this, I mean, talk about it, something like that.
Well, we already got charged for it, we paid it. But I'm just saying, maybe getting Smitty involved, somebody saying, because if you think about it, if people start getting charged, they'll say, well, why should we hire a person that could get laid off? We can pay twice for the same services, because that's what's happening.
For no services.
Or for no services.
Why do you pay for her salary in the first place?
What's that?
What was her salary for?
Well, she's the custodian.
Okay, so give her $800 more work. Just get some wax on these floors, just get some wax.
Well, then you gotta pay her $800 more.
You already paid it.
No, you didn't.
I mean, if you paid her, it wasn't paid to be here.
No, she is here. She is here. The fact is that she's not at Head Start, and they don't have enough money in their employment fund, so then it goes to the second employer, even though she still works for the second employer. It's a screwy law.
Who pays her fair? Annually.
Huh?
I thought it was a company who pays more annually to her.
Does it make?
It's a full-time, that's her full-time employer. They lay her off in the summer. Because the school, it's a Head Start.
She doesn't get paid
which
in
is
the summer,
federal-
so that's unemployment.
federal-
She works here in the summer. So we paid her unemployment for a piece of it. Plus,
After they pay 36%,
We paid it down.
charges, then it falls to the next employer, even though they're a part-time employer. Then they pay their 36%. And then if she works for somebody else, it will fall into them. It's the method that we choose. There's two methods, reimbursable method.
It's really making it so people don't want to hire.
We get to choose.
Once they figure it out.
yes, that also is so sneaky.
And most of us hate that second or third time.
It's
Or is it record too?
what the unemployment's supposed to be.
Received from,
Anyway, I gotta cut some service.
Waste Management, a check for $481.29. Okay, also, and I guess we just hand that to you.
Money goes, because you're gonna keep.
And there was one other thing here. This is a bill for
The nurses.
no, for the maintenance of the copier. Seems like $800 for a maintenance contract.
It's only four.
In a few of them.
Yeah, this
I
goes.
think we can't go with $800.
I don't know.
Jody submitted it because she thought it was totally too
We
much.
sent an email back a couple weeks ago about the public health nurse.
Still available.
We said, we have some invoices, we have guys paid. I sent it back and said, this is probably the two we're missing, can you check it? I've never seen it.
I'll be down here tomorrow, I'll ask him.
Head Start.
No, they have to collect grants. Here.
No, sir, stop by, I want to find out if you purchased it on the library.
Glenn, I'm
Yes,
trying to get a copy of that.
Okay.
Just like,
Just leave it here and I'll look at it.
Okay, very good. Okay? Oh, and I got some big shelves. I got a bunch of them. Are chicken playing?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
They are.
It's a summer thing, they wanted the summer off.
You ain't kidding.
All right, let's get to some of this stuff here. City Pittsfield Community Development Board, notice of reporting is registered deeds. Notice has been 7 p.m., public hearing at the senior center, proposed bylaw additions for solar voltaic, keeping of poultry and medical marijuana dispensaries. I don't know if the chickens smoke, but that may be 3 separate.
In conjunction,
That may be 3 separate things, anyway, post that. Sign up for MMA spring legislative breakfast meetings. Friday morning is Terringham, this is close. Terringham, I guess, is the closest. So for the record, they're inviting us to a legislative breakfast on the 28th of February, and we'll hold that over, so I'll keep track of that, this year's 28th. We're not going to meet again until the 24th. I'm guessing they can take more these things.
They had to send those out to everybody, they're probably not really inviting you guys, I mean, nobody.
Yeah, they don't like us. We eat too much.
That's what
Drink is too much. Drink, get rowdy. Washington Town Hall from the USDA, updated non-discrimination statement. And, you know, the USDA has its hooks into us because we borrow money from them for the town garage. Listed below, the updated statement must be included on all forms of public information. So we will transfer that over to our administrative assistants for action. MassDOT has partnered with, RMD has partnered with the IG's office, the Massachusetts State Police, and the Massachusetts Office on Disability. To remind you of an initiative. This is abuse of the state's handicap parking program. I don't think we need to worry a lot about the abuse of our handicap parking program. And a sample citation, but I'll pass this on to Chief Green, so that when he gives out any tickets for parking in the handicap zone, he will do it properly. Generation price, Constellation Energy, New Energy. Are those who we're using now?
Yes.
This is just a notice of, telling us where our power comes from, biomass, coal, natural gas and nuclear account for about 65%. Hydro, 6. Municipal trash, 1. Okay. I guess we could put that in the record. So now we know where they say all our power comes from. Do we have anything else, Jeff, that we need to include? Oh, did you poll the seniors on the need for transportation?
No,
Okay. Is that a sensible thing to do?
no.
Okay.
I mean,
Or stay in your homes?
Not a heavy load anyway. I can, these is, now we actually have a list of the seniors, this, the key thing is, now I can make phone calls. See, we didn't have the list until this past week here. And I got the death list also current, so I can put the names on there on there. Yours wasn't on, Sean, not this time. Maybe next time, if you like.
How old it has to be?
As old as you want to be when it comes to death.
I think I'm old enough.
I think you're old enough. I think you went behind it.
I think you're right.
You know, I was gonna ask a silly question, but who's handling the barn book?
What book?
Barn book, we're inspecting animals, barns, and.
It's got to be chief.
Doesn't have to be.
Why?
Somebody's gotta be certified, somebody's gotta be authorized and certified to do that, appointed to that position, right? Victor is, does it do it?
Yes.
Good. That's good enough. I just wondered. I was just thinking about it, you know, because I used to do it, and I remember how I used to log everything and how it took place, and things that took place, and I had to go visit the people, you know, but, I just wanted, just who's through now?
Yeah, he's my secretary.
Okay, Again, for the record, there'll be a meeting next week. We'll have a capital meeting on the 24th, starting as soon as we can. 7:30-ish. That's one of the things going on. I didn't say anything about the drug rooms, and we need to talk to Jody about any other things.
Want to grab Judy?
I'll go get you.
Oh, is the recorder around?
Yes.
All right, so we can do a couple. The Transportation Improvement Program has requested input on potential projects. It still lists the reconstruction of Washington Mountain Road. And since we have, our funding comes from a different source, I think we will not put in any request to the TIP this year, and consider that particular project should probably be amended to be Washington Mountain Road in the town of Dalton. But I will take that up with Dalton and the time the TIP meets. And after we have our road paved, not before.
I'm sorry, too low.
We, we're supposed to meet with finance on the 10th, so we can take up our budget on the 3rd. Okay, nothing new on Washington Mountain Road, nothing new on the transfer, and went over some town things before. Okay. Good evening. How you feeling, Jody?
Good, pretty good, thank you.
This is something that the USDA sent us. Apparently, they've changed their boilerplate for what has to be promoted.
You want more things?
Just, they changed the word. They probably paid a consultant $200,000 to change the words in the policy, and now they're inflicting it on the rest of us. Berkshire Graphics, $825 for maintenance for a year does seem a bit
It seems very high to me,
absurd.
which I don't know.
How much does that thing cost anyway?
Well, you know, you gotta look at, I guess they're only good for so many copies. So I was hoping that you would let me just, you know, call
Change the
them.
cartridge.
Well, it's not just that, the machine itself is only good for so many copies, I believe.
You're probably paying for the number of copies you're using too.
Maybe we should investigate getting a new machine for that kind of
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, yeah, it's something
And a
that's.
machine that comes with a warranty for a while.
Yeah.
I think you ought to check with McFarland, Steve at McFarland, and see if they can do better for you. Even the business world down there, people will use McFarland because Berkshire Graphic is more money and less. I mean, they're not bad people. They're not bad people at all.
I mean, we call them, they're
The
here.
cost is the cost.
They're good. I mean,
Is John going ahead with all this work on the computers?
well, John is here tonight because he wanted to clarify exactly what the board approved. He wanted to know because he sent, and I printed them all out, he sent a bunch of different things. He sent one, yeah, we left it at this, you approved whatever he said, but you approved this quote from Dell, which he doesn't know if you would saw this. It's his hours in there
And
as
then
well.
the
This
next
is,
page was his, yeah, I think we asked last time if these things were two separate things. We were told they were. Yes, we want to go ahead with the Dell and with his,
okay.
I think the optional Office 2010. I mean, why is that optional? Isn't that something we have to have? I mean, I'm not happy about spending the money.
No, you don't have to have it.
Can't we just use the old software?
We can continue with Windows
Let's use the
7.
old. So I've been using a old version of the Office personally for.
Yeah, he just says that the more people who upgrade and send you documents, we may not be able to open them anymore. The more people
My
that-
experience is that I can always open new documents. It reformats itself. I don't know, I mean, if it turns out to be a problem, then we will have to do something else. But yeah, I mean,
So you
so
approved,
let's hold off on that, on buying $3,000 worth of Microsoft's finest attempt to gouge the public
Okay.
until
Well,
until it's proven that we need it.
his labor was $368.40, and the $14.73 is what Windows charges for their software. So if you add that to the Windows 7 and then the, get rid of the mandatory upgrade, it's only gonna be $1582.12.
Okay, so we have, oh, I see, Office Pro Plus.
So we
As
have.
I understood it, there's a 2009-12 plus John's labor of 1582. Yeah, okay, all right, we start with the same thing.
Okay,
All right.
that's down.
All right. Building maintenance. We have pretty much complete job descriptions now, except you need something from Dan, auditor.
I simply, here's
I can't
the,
believe we don't have something for Dave. I know we.
No, we do, I just didn't have it
we
in the
need the
file.
auditor,
Okay, yeah.
we need the building inspector, we need the collector of taxes assistant. Do we? We need we have something for Dave, we think, we need the police chief and the town clerk.
Okay, you will ask Chief Green for that. You will ask, well, Allison, it's an elected position. That's, we don't manage her position, her
Because there's
job
a
description.
monster.
Ask Belinda if she would write something up for Sue. Since against all odds, that's becoming a permanent position. Just send Paul Green a note, and Dan, and just remind him.
A question, why are we doing it for Paul, but not for the electrical inspector, which is what we're having issues with people complaining about the electrical inspector.
Well, let's.
And the fire chief?
Oh, they should be all.
They all, we should have them all.
Okay, because I don't know if they're on there, because we don't have anything for the electrical
Yeah, yeah.
inspector.
Yeah, yeah.
Just ask them to write everything up, and if they block, we'll do that. And you're still working on the bylaws? codifying
Actually,
the bylaws?
no, I'm done with that until I get further instructions. I emailed the planning board and Allison the subdivision bylaws.
Okay.
And the only thing missing from them is there's 2 pages of graphics that I could not copy. I could not upgrade because I can't draw a mechanical drawing, the diagram. So they're going to have to try to find the original to see. But it's in their hands and they're reviewing it for sign off. And then I had asked them what's the next thing they want me to do. So I'm done with the bylaws until I get further instruction.
Okay. All right, good. Hopefully you'll get that at some point. Are we going to post them online?
They plan on publishing, they plan on making a book, making it
Excellent.
online.
Okay.
They want to make it.
Just without being obnoxious, just tickle them once in a while.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Allison. She's the one who gave me these, and she hasn't been here in a while, but, we've been communicating. So, it would be.
Did we find Mark Newton's resignation letter?
I searched, I couldn't find it,
It
Judge.
should be in the resignation folder.
I remember seeing it. His wife wrote it.
I thought I saw it too.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
I might have just missed it, we'll check again.
All right, check again. And do we have anything worth talking about with Board of Health, receivables and collectibles?
No, other than we did get some more of the receivables in. I had
Okay.
Split
We
Scott on
need
there.
to have a report that shows, what we're.
I told Jen I have that, but it's the report, the way that I have it, I understand it, but it would raise more questions for you, so I need to format it in a report-looking, readable document. It's,
Wouldn't want to raise any questions with us.
no. Well, I would have to explain it. A report should be, a report is something that you should hand somebody everybody and they say, okay, I know what's going on.
Reformat it and
But I have questions for you guys. Well, the Mass Broadband Institute emailed us, and I talked to them on the phone today. They gave us, and the map's better online, where the carriers say our DSL lines are. And they want us to check it.
show that?
It does show it.
Okay.
And they want us to verify it for accuracy, which I can tell already it's not, because it says it goes down Shoals Road. And I can't get DSL.
I don't know that we are in a position to check the accuracy of Verizon or anything.
Well, there's an instruction sheet out here.
There is?
Yeah, I didn't know if it's something that's.
Well, I'm sure that we will
They
follow
have
the
a lot of
instructions.
that data.
Huh?
The wireless people have a lot of that data as to where they are selling.
Well, I know that it ends on my road. I know Mark Newton has it, but I don't.
Because your house is
MBI is asking us to.
But it
The
says,
state at least has the authority.
Bill says that'll be a great tool in the last mile.
I'm sure it will be, but what they expect us to do?
I don't know.
Who's requesting it?
Western Mass County.
Which is what?
Says-
Sharon Ferry, business manager. Sure, We encourage you to reach out to residents, local government officials, or others in your community who may be able to assist in this matter. If there is a broadband application, Steve, I haven't get my tongue through yet, but explain to them we have no way of doing this if they continue to insist on it.
Is there something we can put in the tracks and ask people, you know, who do you
He
have?
might ask
for
if
your-
you want, but, you know, okay, we put it in the track, some people respond, some people don't. We have no idea the accuracy of the data, we have no idea the some of the data.
It should be asking Verizon.
Well, they did, but I know it's wrong, because I'm looking at the map, and it says that DSL goes straight to Washington Mountain Road, straight down Schultz Road, straight down Humber Lane, but I cannot get
It
DSL.
may not be, here's the difference, okay, my neighbor has DSL, I can't get it. Because there are limited
Parking spaces in their
There
lot.
are limited parking spaces, exactly. So you tell them, we're sure that the information they got is correct.
Okay,
They have the streaming wire in,
okay.
so, I can see where it may open up marketing efforts, but I guess I'm kind of indifferent to the marketing. So far as it,
And,
did you talk to Mrs. Jewell?
well, I talked to Doreen prior to even, you know, I told her that you guys approved the alcohol beverage license, but you didn't do the common vehicular until the until the health inspector stuff is done. And, you know, we had some conversations back and forth about the grease trap. But you guys forgot to sign the license.
I don't know, we signed everything.
We didn't sign. And I wanted you to
What's
read.
that, Sean?
And I wanted you to read Summit Hills and okay what I put down at the bottom about the pool. Scott Cranston informed me that anyone who has a swimming pool has to have a swimming pool operator. And
Commercial.
these are semi-public, is what we're calling them.
Yeah, but I mean, this does not apply to that. It's commercial.
No, Summit Hill Campground and Bucksteep Manor. And then we're informing them of, you know, that there's a class coming up. But I put down that you're issuing them the permit, it's something new, and they just need to provide us with their certificate. I was presumptuous in that statement, and that's why I wanted you to know. And on spring Yes, always have. But it's, but I didn't want to rock the boat by saying, okay, you're not going to get your pool permit until you do this. It's not neighborly, item, but that's just why I need the board's approval on it. And if they won't give us their permit and their pool fails inspection, we can take it back, right? John, Stuart, yeah. And that's what it said in the minutes.
So now,
And some of the campgrounds do the same thing in theirs,
okay, yeah, they have to, let them decide who it is, and sure, okay.
I mean, I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with my language that I'm saying, we're gonna give it to you, because it's new to you. Just the last paragraph. That's where I was presumptuous, everything else is factual. Okay. I think that's all I have. We went over yours, John.
Okay.
You want to hold off on the optional Office 10. If it becomes an issue, then we'll do it, but everything else is going to... Yep, so this is all that approved.
That's very true. Excellent. Sounds good. So, start with the first machine, and start with, I knew
You take him offline, off-site.
yeah. How to do it on site, that, they would know how to trouble. Because I'm just waiting, maybe something out, maybe something. Sounds good. Okay, John, nope, I just wanted to, everything's clear, everything's clear. Okay, we're good. I like that. So, yeah, so first. I'll talk to.
Those machines are clerks,
That's the clerk, the assessor, and
Mike's not here, we can't get out of here. Where's Mike going, now that we need him?
So I'll look up there right now.
and they're all in, so go make a schedule.
I don't think so. Jerry? No.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have the latest two January 4th published for May.
Okay.
Distribution. And Allison said she's working on her statistics for the third least oldest. And then we're like,
Wow, that's good.
I know, so. So hopefully I have a.
Mr. Sutton, anything else?
Yeah, I just think most of you guys adjourned, so I get my work done.
Okay, well, we're gonna Ms. Marcus, anything? Oh, in which case, I will entertain a motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.